attending the session. I was listening to the previous presentation, uh, panel discussion, and it was quite evident that digitization is one of the most important drive which BFSI segment as a segment is driving. Uh, m- uh, there has been a very specific remarks from Aruna Madam of Kotak that digitization is to drive productivity, to drive cost effectiveness, to drive customer experience. But all these things can happen because of a backbone which is there behind all these digital transformation which is happening in various segments including BFSI, and that backbone is data centers. Globally, data centers has been growing by around 23% on a colo, and in India it is growing by approximately 15 to 13%. Now you will say, how come this particular topic has come into BFSI segment in this particular forum? This is to make everyone aware that there is a change in technology in data center design and build also. So my next 15 minutes is just to focus on what all challenges which edge and regional data centers have, and why custom it is more important for everyone to shift towards edge data center and make edge and regional data center much more robust. So before I move forward, I would like to s- speak about the company which I represent. I am from Schneider Electric. We are approximately 27 billion company worldwide, and we have equal revenue across all the continents. We invest around 5% into R&D, and we have more than 1.37 lakh people across the globe. Recently, we have acquired L&T, one of their divisions, and now with that in India itself, we have more than 30 factories and around uh, uh, 28,000 people in India. Just to give a overall understanding, which what Schneider Electric do. Schneider Electric is into energy management and automation, where we take care of from grid to plug whatever product goes in between to make sure energy is safe, reliable. We use our products, which is LV system, MV system, your busways, rack, power, cooling. So these are the various bunch of product portfolio which we handle as far as data center is concerned. End to end, we manage this. So now I will come back to what actually the main topic is, that is on the edge computing, and that is connected with whatever in BFSI you do, all digital endeavors or innovation which you do, which converts into 0 and 1. And managing 0 and 1 is the toughest task when it goes back to the IT world. 0 and 1, wherever it is transferred, where it is processed, where it is stored, that is a place which we call data center. And if you see historically from 1970 till today, there has been a change in the way data center are been operationalized. Initially, as we all know, it used to be mainframe, which is centralized. Then in 90s, it became decentralized, where you have client and server type of situation was there. And then in last decade, it was more of a centralized thing, which people have started adopting. And now it is more of a hybrid data center, which we call it. And in that, edge data center is one of them. I would like to stress again to make everyone aware what edge, what do I mean by edge. I will give an example of driverless car, that if somebody comes in front of car and there is no driver inside, so there are two scenario which can arise. Number one, the data has to move to cloud and the processing has to happen, and then the message has to come back to the car that there is somebody in front of you and the car has to stop. This is one option. The other option is car itself has that particular intelligence built in, so that immediately it can take a call that it has to press a brake. So the intelligence, when it is built in near the place where data is generated, that is the place which we call it edge. And in the current scenario, when everything is IoT, everyone is talking about IoT, everyone is talking about digitization, edge data center becomes one of the prominent uh, functional block of any organization, and it is going to be much more prevalent in future also. So what is local edge? What we call is local edge can be in the range of, I'm just translating into kilowatt, that it range from 5 to 10 kilowatt and goes up to megawatt. And uh, companies are actually making small server rooms and data centers near the customers. So if you are in Mumbai, you will have small data center server room in Mumbai which gets connected to the main server room, which may be xyz, which may be at xyz place or on a cloud. So anything which is near to the customer is what we call it edge, and it has many variations. It cannot be that edge is only 5 kilowatt or 10 kilowatt data center. It can be of any size. It can be of 1 megawatt, 1.5 megawatt, or 10 kilowatt, depending upon the quantum of digitization and the quantum of uh, traffic which is there, and depending on what you build. So why are customer transitioning back to edge? It is all because of IoT applications, and as that needs low latency, data privacy, and high bandwidth. The moment you have more IoT, that means you have handheld devices in a specific density, it is too much of traffic is moving here and there, then the latency comes into practice, then the high bandwidth comes into practice, and then there is a possibility of breach of privacy. And that's why it's important that you have a end to end self sufficient server room or data center near to the place where data is generated, right? So digital transformation brings new technologies. Just from the other segments, I am just giving you example that these are the various adoption of new technologies, which is magic mirror, self-service kiosks, digital signage, digital price tags, beacons. All these require high availability IT and network infrastructure installed. So all this require that the data which is at the place where the customer is, there has to be a processing place near to that place, and that's where you need to have a server room or data center near to that. Hospital, banking, where you call it counter free digital bank branches, table tablet based teaching. So all this, when you have, I'm just taking example, like when all these type of digital drive is going on, so the data where all this is getting collected, that place has to be safe, secure, and always available. But what we have found is that edge computing is not that much reliable. If you see, if the all the big data center, cloud data centers, tier 4 or tier 3, their annual downtime is approximately 40.44 hours in a year. Vis-a-vis, if you are talking about the last one, that local edge, their availability is approximately 99.67, which amounts to 29 hours of downtime in a year against 0.44. That means if you are putting your data center or your data on a cloud, then there is a possibility that that particular cloud data center may fail for 45 minutes in a year. But if you are doing that on a local edge, then there is a possibility of 29 hours. That means the local edge, we have to build all the features and functionality whatever is there in cloud, it need to be replicated in the local edge data center or server room also, right? So physical security is one of the concern of local edge. deployment of standardized server rooms and data centers at multiple locations. I am just taking this. Uh, I would like to give you example that if you have multiple branches at different locations, then all those different branches will become your small edge locations. So those edge location, you may not have the right IT manpower available to manage that, right? So deployment has to be standardized, and the management of multiple locations from a single place should be much more easier. So these are the various challenges which actually portrays a challenge on us, that physical infrastructure of server room at edge location need to be much more robust. So what customer or you want is that the maximum uptime of IT branches of distributed sites, simple simplify the life cycle management and monitoring of IT remote sites. So Schneider Electric helps in building that. We help our customers to reduce the challenges of standardization and redundancy, remote site management, and secure environment. So this is the likes of server room and data centers when you go to small sites, but we want to make it much more like this. When I am telling you this much more like this particular rack has everything what you call is there in a cloud data center. That means you have redundant UPS, you have redundant power backup, you have redundant distribution, you have cooling, you have racks, you have power distribution, everything built in this simple micro data center. And this can be deployed across your branches. So deploying standardization and redundancy at your respective sites. So these are the various options available where you can pre-integrated, pre-configured, configure to order, or customize. So these are the various options which are available, and these are also added with the lithium ion batteries, which actually give us a long backup time at those remote locations. So these are the various options which Schneider give to the customer to have a standardized operation where they don't have to call 10 different vendors for these remote sites, these edge sites, right? So and then this also is added by local edge configurator, which actually a software by which customer can configure their own server room as per their requirement. Okay. Second, remote site management. So when you have multiple server rooms at different locations, it is, and you will not have one IT guys at each location, so you need to manage it centrally with reference to your battery management, with reference to your server management, with your UPS management. So all that now has a cloud-based solution which we call it Ecostruxure, which has three layers: the products, the edge control, and apps analytics. So where on your mobile you can manage multiple sites of edge sites on your mobile, and you can also, the Schneider Electric backup team can manage your all these sites remotely from our service bureau. So these are the various options available as far as management is concerned of the local edge sites. And third is the cyber security, which actually starts with the physical security. So whatever solution I have talked about, that are micro DC, along with monitoring, controlling, and supervising features built into this particular micro DC edge solution. This has wireless temperature humidity sensors, door contacts, leak detector, spot fluid, vibration, smoke, over and above all this connected via the Ecostruxure platform which we have. So with this, we give you the end-to-end robust micro DC, which has same features which a cloud server will have or cloud data center have, and this gives a right platform for customer to go for digitization and use these solution. So this is the integrated edge computing solution looks like, that a rack having all the various options which are there by which you can manage your server room and data centers. So with this, I end my presentation. Thank you very much.